This is the problem. When you say something, you gotta be about it. I am sick, if you can't tell by my voice. I have a sinus infection. Everything hurts. But your word is your bond. Atomic Habits, a year and some change later, by James Clear. Chapter 7, The Secret to Self-Control. I think that all of us, we struggle with self-control because of the main issue, which is, I'll let you guess. Can you say it? You don't know. The word is temptation. We struggle to fight temptation. And he basically opens up with this sort of study from 1971 about soldiers in the Vietnam War, how they were addicted to heroin while they were on tour. And once they came back home, it was very rare that they'll relapse and do heroin again. What he basically states from that example is the fact that social cues are the reason why we do the things that we do. So let me read this to you. Page 94, third paragraph. Here's the punchline. You can break a habit, but you're unlikely to forget it. Once the mental grooves of habit have been carved into your brain, they are nearly impossible to remove entirely, even if they go unused for quite a while. And that means that simply resisting temptation is an ineffective strategy. So this whole entire chapter talks about that whole paradigm where you know you're struggling with certain things, but these social cues that you've become accustomed to are very hard to dissolve. And he keeps saying a whole bunch of things like a more reliable approach is to cut bad habits off at the source. One of the most practical ways to eliminate a bad habit is to reduce exposure to the cue that causes it. He states a couple of bullet points. I'm not going to read them to you because I still want you to get the book and read this amazing book. And there's a whole bunch of different paragraphs where he's basically talking about how we struggle with weight loss, with eating better, with exercising, with doing things that we need to do, right? I truly like this book because it's one of those books that you have to read every single year as a refresher, maybe every 6 months. I've beat up this copy. And the more you read, I think, who was it? It was one of the Stoic philosophers that said, and I'm paraphrasing here, every time you enter the river, you shouldn't be the same person, right? I'll put the quote somewhere on the screen. You shouldn't be the same person every time you reread this book. It makes sense. And he basically ends this chapter with saying, self-control is a short-term strategy, not a long-term one. You may be able to resist temptation once or twice, but it's unlikely you can muster the willpower to override your desire every time. Instead of summoning a new dose of willpower whenever you want to do the right thing, your energy would be better spent optimizing your environment. This is the secret to self-control. Make the cues of your good habits obvious and make the cues of your bad habits invisible. There's a lot to unpack in that last paragraph. What I want to get to is that when it comes down to this book, when it comes down to personal development, when it comes down to the things that we do on a day-to-day basis, every single day, it's hard to sometimes understand that your own habits are causing a delay of progress, or they become like a trap where you know what you need to do, you know where you want to go, you know how you want to do it, but because of your habits, because of these social cues, these environmental cues, you're stuck. So with this book, I want to finish it. I want to encourage you to get a copy of Atomic Habits. We're going to continue. This is chapter 7. I want to talk to you about this book in its entirety. Next week, next Saturday, we're going to read chapter 8 and 9. I want to push a little bit forward because I've been lazy, right? If I say something to you, I plan to do it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 chapters left. So my whole purpose here is to promote reading as much as possible. I know that people love consistency. This is about being consistent. If you have already read this book, Atomic Habits, let me know. It is a great book. It is a very practical book. And there's so much more that I can share with you. And I'm going to do that, especially with this book, 4,000 Weeks. It changed my life forever. I think about time differently. I think about the things that I do differently. So the book club is here to stay. So you know the deal. Hopefully I'm not sick next Saturday and I can give you a lot more energy, but I did it. Chapter 7 is done. Atomic Habits. I'm going to see you here next week, Saturday at 10, hopefully. We're doing chapter 8 and 9. Today we talked about chapter 7, self-control. Watch the other videos. And you know when people say that investing in yourself is one of the best things ever? This is it. $20 of your money, or less than $20 of your money, for a resource that has unlimited benefits for you. An unlimited reference to get better and be better every single time. So, Atomic Habits, next Saturday. I'll see you then. Peace.